Yeah,
Got the little
that's why I
guys today.
lock my door too.
What's up? What's up? Y'all turned it live with Mike and EJ. And today, y'all already know we breaking down the Bears, man. So today was a good win overall. I think that the defense showed some good signs towards the second half, but we're gonna get into all that, man. Let's just let the intro go. Man, watching that intro doesn't get old, bro.
No, never.
Watching Sweetness, boy. So even though we do shout outs at the end, I look, you just want to do a quick shout out to the 49ers and George Kittle for whooping on the Cardinals last night. They made them look basic, which was awesome.
Yep.
But more importantly, they gave the Bears back their own destiny, their own, their own way into the playoffs. They just have to win one more game that we won tonight, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Great game. I'm gonna let EJ start it off. But before we do that, like one more time, just shout out to the 49ers. I just want y'all to check this out. I want y'all to hear what George Kittle had to say.
For the team. And, I will say this. I did grow up a Bears fan, and the fact that we helped the Bears a little bit just makes me a little happier. So, dub Bears. But thanks, guys. See ya.
There you go.
I've seen it like 10 times, man. I haven't gotten tired of seeing it once, man. That's hilarious.
It's funny, bro. I actually learned this week that we actually had a chance to get George Kittle, but we drafted Adam Shaheen instead.
Oh, God. Don't say that.
Last week we talked about what? We talked about Ryan Pace needs to go because him picking bad people. So it's like, yeah, obviously, he's not God. He can't see exactly who's gonna be great. But come on, man. There's too many people you've missed out on just because
Yes.
this is my guy. It's like you're not doing your full evaluation, or I don't know what it is, man. But
yeah.
we did that. We talked about that last week. Let's break down this game, man. So what did you see out there, EJ?
I mean, from the jump, they look pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offense. These last few weeks they have shown like how Nagy's offense, not really his like complete offense, because I feel like he's still doing stuff to cater to Mitch, which is what he should be doing. This is your quarterback. So you should cater to what he's good at. And that's what they've been like him and Laser, that's what they've been doing these last few weeks in the offensive line is blocking. And they've been running the ball. And it's like everything seems like more cohesive. Everything's working out better. But it's like, as a Bears fan, it's like, man, especially after them 6 weeks that we lost in a row, after seeing that in like these last like few games where the offense has been clicking, it's like, man, it's just really good to see. But what I'm really the most impressed by is just like the run game. Like they've been running the ball so well lately, and it's like it's good to see. Because like Dave Montgomery, because I could see it. I'm like, man, he's a good running back. This man just has not had any blocking. And now you've actually seen it now. They're blocking for this dude. And it's like now you actually seeing his full potential. Like, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. He's not just one-dimensional. He's not just a runner. He can like catch passes too. And like they seem like they're running the offense more through him. But it's like, I'm just glad like these last few weeks that they've actually had the opportunity to we've had the opportunity to see what this team could look like when the offense is actually clicking on all cylinders. I feel like they're not 100%. I feel like there's still some room for improvement, but they've looked really good. And Mitch, he's looked pretty decent too. He's making some good throws. Like they've cut the field in half for him with the rollouts. But except for them really dumb interceptions that he's thrown, he's actually looked really well. It's like, especially compared to how Foles looked and then how Mitch looked at the very beginning of the season. Like he didn't look all that impressive in like the Atlanta Falcons game when he got pulled. He wasn't looking that great. But but still, it's like he's looked more improved, and he's like he's looking more like a veteran quarterback, making smarter decisions than he did previously. So I'm seeing improvement in him. Offensive line's looking good. Receiving corps making plays. I'm seeing they getting Jimmy Graham more involved. He had a good game today.
Yeah, so, shout out Jimmy Graham. Good game.
Yes, two good touchdowns. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the offense. I'm just hoping they can keep it up because we got Green Bay next week. Let's see what they do, whether they sit or they play next week. But it's looking good, man.
I agree. What was standing out to me is just the fact that like you were saying, like after that 6-week losing streak and then these last 4 to 5 weeks, to see them like putting up numbers and not like getting away from what they've been doing since they've been putting up numbers, which is like you were saying, bootleg actions, getting Trubisky, to just read half the field, getting them quick passes, running with David Montgomery. So it's like they're not getting away from that. They're like, okay, this is who we are. And I don't know who finally talked to Matt Nagy, or finally, since his ass was on the hot seat, he was like, okay, I got to figure something out. Yep. But whatever is going on, do not change it. Continue progressing from there, because you guys are looking really good. Yep. As far as Trubisky, though, like he's progressing, like you're saying, but he's still struggling, man. Like with the progressions, it's like, come on, bro. You're a veteran, like EJ's saying, and it's like you should know as a veteran, throw the ball away when you don't see anything. So,
Yes.
for example, right here, like, tell me what do you see right here? I understand you're trying to make a play. It's great, but there's nothing. Throw that away. Do you
There's
see
nothing
how
but
many
Jaguars.
people were there, bro? There was 3 Jacksonville defenders and Allen Robinson in that corner.
Yep.
Like, come on, man. We got to see that again. Like, you have to throw this away. This is why people are like, don't bring Mitch back. And this is the part where I would understand. Don't bring Mitch back. Five Jacksonville defenders.
My God, man. Like, who was he throwing to?
Like, I think he's throwing at Allen Robinson. But it's like,
Allen Robinson ain't on the Jaguars no more, bro. Like, what is he doing?
it's like, we're going to call it how it is. If you're playing well, we're going to say you're doing well. If you're doing bad, we're going to call you out. So, like, that right there, this is why we don't want to sign you long term. This is why I say sign him one more year. Now, the odds of him signing for one more year are slim, just because I know that quarterbacks, they like long contracts. So I don't know how that's going to work. We would have to franchise tag him. But then what happens with Allen Robinson? You can't franchise tag 2 players, I believe. So I don't know what's going on with that. But that's the bad Mitch. But then there's moments where it's like, this is why we like Mitch, and this is why he gives us a fighting chance. Because I feel like this is where he's at his best, to be honest. Besides throwing, this is where he's at his best. And us using him in the red zone like this is beautifully designed. Like, you've been playing boot action all day. Then you get into the end zone and you let Mitch run off of that. That beautiful design, because you had them thinking all the way, like, okay, they've been running it or passing it. Nobody was checking Mitch. Nobody. So those are things that I'm seeing that they've been doing more of too, is like getting back to that 2018 form. And I just hope that if they do bring Mitch back, like, we get more of that and less of the arrogant throws that he's making. And like, I hope that he sits back in the offseason. Hopefully we go deep into the postseason, but hopefully in the offseason he sits back and is like, okay, where can I improve? That's your number one target right there.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I'm just hoping, like, because, like, here's the thing. You can't make a throw. Let's just say they do make it to the playoffs. Honestly, I feel like they are. They have their destiny in their own hands. Like, they put themselves in a position by winning these last few games, a couple of games. They put their destiny in their own hands. You can't make a throw like that he made, and then that one the week before. You can't make them type of throws in the playoffs. Playoffs, even though this is a weird year, there's not fans at a lot of these stadiums, but still, that kills the momentum. Momentum is huge in the playoffs. You cannot make throws like that in the playoffs. You cannot make mistakes like that, because it'll swing the momentum in a whole completely different direction. It's like you'll be up by 10, and the next thing you know, you down by 20. It's like, what the heck happened? Then you go look back. It's like, oh, that one throw that he made that just totally killed all the momentum and swung it to the other side. Exactly. So it's like he's got to get in his head, like, man, we're up. Let's just kick the field goal. Let's add another 3 points. Why am I making a throw that I do not have to make? That was completely unnecessary. He has to get that in his mind. Like, you know what? Live to fight another down. Like, it ain't there. Let me just throw it away. Worst case scenario, we kick this field goal. We got 3 points. Whatever.
Exactly.
And then he got lucky because, like, what was the very next play that Glennon threw the interception to Roquan Smith, and then they ended up getting a field goal anyway.
And that's perfectly that you said that, because that's where he's showing like better pass coverage is I think it was this play actually when we needed it right back.
Yeah, 2nd and 4.
The play that you're talking about, right? Is the play you're talking about? Yeah. That was beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
I honestly thought he got hurt. Like, look at the end of this. I'm gonna show it again. Look at the end. Roquan Smith, and I thought he got hurt. I was actually like scared for a little bit because he was like down. Oh, all types of awkward, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. His fall looked real awkward,
It
and it's
looked
like
really, really awkward.
yeah.
So, but
I
thank God
thought
he
he was
was
hurt
good.
too. Yeah.
But yeah, keep going, man. Like I just wanted to show what you were talking about. Yeah, but yeah, keep going.
Nah, man. But I was just like, I'm just hoping that like, because he's had some really good moments too, and there's another thing. He's got to work on his downfield throw accuracy. He missed that one. Man, who was that throw to? Was that Cole
The Cole
Kmet
Kmet.
that wide open throw that he missed? I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
granted he got hit like right after he threw it. But watch the game last night, the Dolphins and the Raiders. Ryan Fitzpatrick's literally getting his face mask yanked. His head, he almost got his head snapped the wrong direction, and he threw a pass and completed it. So it's like,
And
come on, man.
And it was over 25 yards.
Yes, so it's like you got to make that throw. He was literally wide open. So it's like, nah, man, he has to work on that. If he can get some of this stuff on the
trigger happy. He saw him so wide open that he got so happy that he just threw it like fast instead of thinking about it like he normally would when somebody's not wide open, you know?
Yeah.
So that he needs to learn how to calm down. And I understand that because when I used to play basketball, I used to like shoot fast without thinking. It's like, now I gotta learn how to calm down, even if somebody's closing in. So it's like he got to do the same thing. Like even if he's wide open, just concentrate though, you know?
Yeah.
But it's still good to see us putting up numbers. It was good to see us put up 41. That I don't think have we put up 41 this season. I gotta go back and like take a look, but it was good to finally beat on the other end of like, you know, being beat by 20 something points. You know, it's good. It's
real, man.
They've been giving us hope. Now, like you said, if they go out there and beat the Packers next week, now you can't take any type of hope away from me because I'm gonna be yelling up and down the Bears is winning the Super Bowl. They have the defense to do it as long as we start clicking on the defense again.
Yeah.
You know, so but just thinking on offense though, like they've been running David again, and I think they need to keep running him. I'm gonna show some plays like I'm big on speed, and he's finally starting to show a little bit more quickness. I don't know what he's doing, but this play right here, for example, he showed like good vision and speed. Like he was able to get through outside and get some yards. Like he's a tough runner, man. Like this touchdown, for example, he finds good holes. He was able to squeeze in there and make hit the hole like how he's supposed to be. And did you notice that they did not use Cordero Patterson like at all in the running back?
Yeah, they didn't use him.
It was all actual running backs playing running back. So Matt Nagy might really be starting to unlock himself too as like a good coach. Like he's starting to realize, okay, my system wasn't generally working because I had no running game. So let me go back to the basics, actually have running backs be running backs, and let's go from there. Like that'll unlock my plays there. I want to be a genius at, or whatever. So I'm just glad that he's starting to finally pick that up.
Yeah.
Like letting David run and do his thing.
Yeah, man. It's about time.
For real. But yeah, just to switch, man. The defense, like I said to start off in the first half, they weren't looking the best. Like the fact that the Jacksonville even put up 17 is like, come on, what are you guys doing? But they only let up 7 points in the second half, which was fine. So but this goes to show what's been killing them since I don't know when this started. It might have been during that Packers week or even before that. But look at the tackling here. The guy is barely budged. He barely budges.
Yeah.
Like that. That to me is like you have to be. That's basic. You have to be able to tackle, man. That guy should have been destroyed. He didn't even see him coming.
No, man. And it's like they got to get that fixed because it's like plays like that. It's like you get worn down as a defense. If teams start running the ball on you, you start to get gassed. And it's like on that play, it looked like one of the guys missed his gap because you see that hole on that side was like huge. There shouldn't be a hole that big on that side of the field. Like, look, the linebacker got pushed out of the way. Was that Roquan? Yeah, Roquan
Yeah,
got pushed out of his gap. And it's like that hole that he went through was probably the gap that Roquan was supposed to fill.
I
And
see.
it's like he got like 20 yards down the field before anybody even touched him. So it's like,
For real.
nah, man, they gotta fix that. And they gonna have to fix that fast, especially if they're making the playoffs. Even though teams tend to pass the ball more nowadays. This ain't like back in the day where
That's true.
like teams used to run the ball more consistently. Like I know teams like the Vikings, they got Dalvin Cook, and then you got the Titans, they got Derrick Henry. They tend to run the ball, and then you got the Ravens. That's all they do is run the ball. But most
Yeah,
of the teams in the league, they pass the ball. So it's like the teams in the playoffs, if they make it there, they're going to be more pass oriented most likely. But if you're not stopping the run, trust me, they will run the ball until you stop it.
exactly.
So they're
Exactly.
gonna have to get that shored up for sure.
And I don't know if obviously it's too late to get somebody in there to help with his run defense, but I really think that Bilal Nichols has been really stepping up his game. Like
Oh yeah,
you saw him today, you saw him last week. You've been seeing him all season. Like they got him at, I believe, defensive tackle right now. And to me, he's more of a right end or a left end. You know, he's better off the edge.
yeah,
But the guy, they gave him a role and he's blossomed, man. Like to me, he deserves a bigger expansion in his role. Like, for
mm-hmm.
example, like you see this play right here. Like that should have been a pick because he had his hands, and that's why he was on the ground mad. Like he went to pick it off. Like he's an alert guy.
Yeah.
Like
That's good play recognition.
yeah, good play recognition. Big shout out to Bilal Nichols, man. He's stepping up, and I hope that he just continues to blossom the way he is, man. Like we could really use a guy like him.
Yeah, like he's been really good for them this year, and it's like he's been like kind of under the radar because he's not like a big name. Because you got Khalil Mack, then they signed Robert Quinn in the offseason. You got Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan. Then they got all these good players on the defense, and he's kind of like going under the radar, but he's made some good plays. Akeem Hicks on the D line. So it's like, they got all these good players, and he's just like he's filled in, and he's like, man, he just done his job, and he's like been real solid. It's like he's made some plays, and the dude has a good motor. That's part of the reason why he's like you've seen him, noticed him more because he's where he needs to be. He's around the ball, and he's making plays. So it's like he's not stopping. And it's like guys like that, they get more playing time because, like, okay, this dude, they watch the film. And it's like, oh, you see this dude flashing all over the place, just like Roquan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Like you watch any Bears game, the dude is always around the ball. And same thing with him. Like he's always making plays on the defensive line. So it's like, I think his role should be more expanded. I think he should definitely keep getting some more playing time because he's a real solid player.
Solid, bro. And he's really putting a really solid season. And hats off to the guy, man. He's doing really, really good.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I hope that he should be more of like the permanent D tackle because I sometimes see they put Brent Urban in there, and I like Brent Urban a lot. But they need to give Bilal Nichols a little bit more time in there.
Oh, I agree.
As far as the defense, since we're still on the defense, man, I feel like they're slowly starting to get back to where we kind of saw them in the beginning of the season. Like if the second half kind of shows that. Because last week, yeah, they gave up a lot of points to the Vikings, but like what you were saying earlier, there's like something about when rivals play each other. Like, it's not the same, you know, it's not a random team. Like, this is a person in your division. You're taught to destroy people in your division. So, and the Vikings were fighting for a damn playoff spot, possibly. Like, if they would have
Yeah,
won, they would be the ones in control of their own future right now. You
yeah,
know, it was a huge game. So the defense really played as best as they could with a team that was hungry.
yeah.
So today they played a team that was hungry too, but not a divisional rival. And you saw what they did. They shut them down in the second half. They only let them score one touchdown. And by the way, the people that let them score the touchdown in the second half were two rookies because they had all the thirds and fourth stringers out there
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
last 5
Backups.
minutes.
Yep.
Exactly. So the defense, I think me and you were texting earlier, and I think personally, I was telling you that I think they were just been waiting for the playoffs because if you remember back in 2018, they didn't have their full roster for the playoffs. They were missing Eddie Jackson
Yep.
and they
That
were
was huge.
missing Bryce Callahan. And
Yep. That was
there was
huge.
two huge people. Like,
Yep.
yeah, it still came down to one kick, but it would have not even came down to that kick if those two guys were in there. I promise you that.
Oh yeah. I
I
totally
promise you
agree
that.
with you. Totally agree with you.
So we'll see though. We'll see what happens though. Like, you know, only the defense will show us what they're gonna do. I can't go out there and play for them. So, but I
Right.
do have hope they're gonna do well.
Yeah. And, you know, I got. I'm a little. I don't have as much faith in them as you do because I've seen them have too many bad games against good teams. But I know they're capable of being elite because
Yeah,
we've seen it with these dudes. Like they haven't looked, and I'm trying to think. They haven't really looked as good this year as they. I mean, just as a whole, I could tell from the jump. Like, man, something's different about the defense. They don't look as like stagnant as they have in the past years. This whole year they haven't looked as elite, but have had their moments.
true.
Like they've had moments throughout the year where they have looked really good, but then there's been times when they're like, oh, okay, like they struggling here, they can't stop this. But part of it, and we texted about this, part of it has to do with the fact that the offense was playing terrible. They're literally going 3 and out every time they get the ball. The defense coming right back on the field. It's like, come on, man, they're
Exactly.
human
They're
beings.
getting exhausted.
Yes, they're getting tired. So it's like that was
And
part
especially
of the
somebody
reason.
like Khalil Mack that's like his motor is high. He's always giving everything he's got on every play, and then like people don't see it on the stats. But
Yes.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but Khalil
No, you
Mack,
good.
he's had 8 sacks. He's next week. It's highly doubtful that they're really gonna let Aaron Rodgers, if he plays, get sacked 2 times. But if he does get to Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, whoever plays next week, if he gets to them 2 tights, he's got another double-digit season. When he's getting chipped, he's getting blocked. He's got like 2 tight ends on him and a running back.
Yeah.
Like you don't you don't know what's going on. Like people are not seeing fully what's going on with this guy.
Yeah.
So, like saying with what you're saying, like, and then being out there primarily 90% of the game because the offense is steadily getting 3 and outs. It's like that's
Yes.
not fair. Like the fans, we really have to see. Like we have to look deeper.
Yes. Yeah. And it's like the fact that the offense is playing terrible, then put them right back on the field. Then they've had injuries, and it's just been also has been mistakes that they've made personally, like mental mistakes, not hitting the right gaps and stuff. You know, missing the coverage, not playing a deep enough zone, like stuff like that. And Jalen Johnson, he's been injured last couple of weeks, but he has had some good moments when he was out there. But he's also made some rookie mistakes. Like in
I
being a
agree.
corner, that's not a position you can really make mistakes at, like on the
Right.
outside. That's already a tough position. So if you're out there on learning on the fly and making mistakes, them mistakes can lead to touchdowns. But he has had some good moments as well. But it's like it's
Yeah.
just stuff like
What's
that.
going on with him? Why? I haven't really been reading up on what's going on with Jalen Johnson.
mean,
Like I know it's a shoulder,
Yeah.
but like, did they say a timetable? How long?
I don't know, bro. I'm trying to figure out the same thing. I thought he would have been back by now, but apparently maybe they like rested him or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't played, but yeah, man, they could use him out there because Vildor, he's doing as best as he can, but he's a rookie too, and he's not a rookie on the level of Jalen
Exactly.
Johnson. Yeah,
Getting picked on, like you were saying, getting picked on, man.
Yeah, man.
But
they was stay picking on him like last during the game.
He still I like his effort though. Like, you know, Kendall Vildor has good effort though, but you know, effort is not fully what you need in the NFL. You still need play recognition. You still need to be able to tackle, and he's kind of slow with the play recognition. So
yeah.
But just what we were saying earlier about the offense, though, I just wanted to show like little glimpses of like what this offense really looks like when they put it all together. Like, this is what they need to be from now on. This is what gives them the best chance. Like, play action to Montgomery, throw slants to Allen Robinson, fake it again to him, throw it back to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are simple plays, but they work because David Montgomery's a horse. Like, he knows how to find the right holes. He knows how to make guys miss. Allen Robinson, You know what he does. He can make guys look silly. It's like, this is your game plan. It's been the game plan the last 4 weeks. Continue this. Look at this. This is effort. Look at the vision. Like, the guy, this is our identity. Darnell Mooney, you know I'm high on him. Like, the guy knows how to find like ways to get yardage. Like, literally, all us fans, real fans that be watching the game, it's basic, bro. Give it to your weapons that have the best chance of making guys miss and scoring a touchdown in that one play.
Yeah, and
those
it's like
three guys that you saw in that play are like that.
Yeah, and it's like, don't get too fancy, man. That's another thing that, like, Nagy, I know the first year we had all those trick plays and stuff and it worked, but then the next year kind of cut back on it because like teams like, okay, we're gonna be looking for stuff like this. But it's like, don't be too vanilla, but then don't be too outlandish. Like that little reverse or that little handoff they did on the goal line to, was it Shaheen, that they did like on the 1 yard line? Why is that necessary, man? Just hand it to David Montgomery, let him do his thing.
Oh,
like,
no, you're talking about the one to Kmet?
Yeah, to Kmet, that little jet sweep they did to Kmet. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, just hand the ball to Montgomery and call it a day, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't understand
that. That goes back to Nagy. That's 100%. Like you can't tell me Nagy wasn't the one that was like, oh, let's run this right here. You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm looking for the play. I know I have it somewhere here, man. But I be looking at Nagy sometimes like, bro, I understand you want to look cool or something. Like, I don't know if he wants to look cool. I don't know what it is at this point, but it's like, bro, it doesn't work. I can't find a play, but it doesn't work. Like, it's just the basics. And I remember going back to that play, like, I remember there was a hole like where David Montgomery could have easily got it through. Yeah. And instead the guy gets tackled for like a 5 yard or like a 6 yard loss.
Yep. And it's
from
like
a touchdown to a 6 yard loss.
Yeah, and then they end up kicking a field goal at that drive.
Exactly.
Touchdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
man.
It is what it is. Obviously, we can't control what Nagy does. I just hope that like Eric is saying down in the chat, I just hope we keep momentum going into the Packers next week.
Yes.
We'll see what's gonna happen. I just hope that they win tonight, because if they win tonight, then they're probably gonna rest their starters. That's pretty much how that's gonna work. If they don't win tonight, then they're probably not gonna rest their starters.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a tough game, man. The Titans are a good team. Titans are, I think they playing for playoff seeding too. So it's like, that's gonna be a tough game for the Packers. But yeah, man, if they win, they pretty much gonna rest their starters. Like, they got no reason to play them. They'd be dumb to play them. They could go out there and be like, hey, the Bears got a chance to make the playoffs. They're our rivals. Let's keep them out the playoffs. But it's like, do you want to do that, or do you want to be healthy for the playoffs? I think they're gonna go healthy for the playoffs.
And I hope you're right, man. I 100% you're right, because I don't think we can beat them right now. I think we need a couple more weeks of of heating up, and then maybe we can do it. I don't think we're still there 100% where we can beat them, but that's just me, being realistic. So we're gonna see, man. The future is in our hands. We're gonna wrap up today with the facts of the week. EJ found some interesting facts out there about the Bears. So do you want to go first on which fact you want to share?
Yeah, let me see. Which one do I want to throw out there?
Oh, actually, we're
Um,
not ending it with this because we still have to do the our players of the week. So we'll end with
right,
players of the week.
right. Let me see. Oh, I'll go with this one. So, like the Bears, going back to the offense, like we've scored a lot of points, which is like not normal for us. Like, oh, we scored 30 points in a game. It's like, oh my God, it's like we feel like we're the Kansas City Chiefs. But
Right.
it's the Bears have scored 30 points in 4 straight games for the first time since weeks 4 through 7 in 1965.
Wow.
1965. Hall of Famer George Halas was the coach, and Hall of Famer Gale Sayers was our running back. That's how long ago that was. We never
And
had really elite offense.
wow. So
Yeah,
going back to when, Bears were pretty much getting their start, they've always just kind of been known for defense. They didn't even have offense at that time neither.
yeah, man.
And it's
Legit.
nowadays you have to have offense, because it's like what you were saying last week is like the NFL is built for you to have an offense now. Like if they just look at you, or I remember somebody in the chat was saying like if they just look at you, it's a defensive pass interference. So it's like why shouldn't you have a great offense at this point?
Right.
But that was a great fact though. The one that stood out to me was the one where this season, every game that Mitch has started, David Montgomery has had a 100-yard rushing game.
It's
So
crazy.
that goes a lot. That goes a lot to show to that Mr. Trubisky, he kind of is an X factor. He might not be an X factor on the passing game. He's just on his best, he's above average at his best. But that extra running that he has, the athleticism, like defenses really think about that.
Yeah,
So it's good to show that maybe he really needs to come back, because he has a lot of things that nobody else can really do.
yeah, yeah.
So it's awesome though. But we're gonna shout out some players today. My player of the week, I would have to go with. Oh, I meant to put the. Oh, we can go with play of the week because that's practically the same thing. My player of the week though is Cole Kmet, or no, what was that, Cole Kmet? I gotta go back and double check the game film. I was working on this today, so I couldn't really go back and double check it. But it was like the first touchdown. Mr. Trubisky threw like a touchdown right up the middle. I believe it was Cole Kmet or Jimmy
Hold on,
Graham. It was one of the
I
two.
think that was Jimmy Graham.
It was Jimmy Graham, but bro, that was like a really good throw.
It was a laser.
It was a laser, and who opened that up was I believe Darnell Mooney opened that up, or it was Allen Robinson. Like somebody opened that up. It was just beautiful play call, and it's like I'm impressed to see it. I just hope they keep this up and they can do it against the elite teams, because that's what they're gonna face in the playoffs. They're not gonna play anybody like the Jaguars in the playoffs.
No, definitely
So
not.
so that's my player is Cole Kmet.
I'm gonna go with Jimmy Graham, man. I gotta give this man some love. Like 2 touchdown catches today. So yeah, I gotta go with Jimmy Graham. I think
Yeah, he was big.
not we doing offense and defense, or we just doing like just player period?
Yeah, for this one, we can do player. We can do defensive player too. That's fine. Who would you go for defense?
Oh, definitely Roquan Smith with them 2 picks. My dude out
Okay.
there with the coverage, man.
Exactly. He has been looking a lot better, Eric. Definitely. So, That's a good pick though. We're just like the Bears have talent, man. It's obvious. Like
Yes.
they have it on offense, they have it on defense, and we're slowly putting it together. And the good thing is we don't have to wait all the way to next year to figure out, that we had it.
Right.
We got a chance. The playoffs is now in our hands. Like, hey, go. We took care of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Some people thought that the Jacksonville Jaguars were gonna upset us because of Mike Glennon. So,
Yeah.
but Mike Glennon is trash. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Mike Glennon. Now, if it was Gardner Minshew out there, it might have been a different game. Might have been a different game, like at least scoring wise. So
Yeah.
good job, Bears, man. Unless you have anything else to talk about today, EJ, man, it was a good game. I'm excited for next week, man. We're gonna have a lot to talk about next week
Yeah, man, I
because
can't
we're
wait.
gonna figure out if we're in the playoffs. We'll see who we play. So next week we're gonna have a good show. So shout out the Bears, man. And then finally let's shout out of the week. Shout out my kids, man. They with me right now. We just hanging out. They were kicking my butt in Super Smash Brothers. I'm surprised a 9-year-old beat me in Super Smash Brothers. But
Hey, watch out, man. The kids know how to play them games, boy.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm like, I'm getting beat by a 9-year-old. This is crazy. But yeah, shout out my kids, man.
Let me shout out my wife, man, for always watching the kids while we doing the podcast, keeping it peaceful in the house. So ain't no kids like yelling and stuff in the background. So I got to shout out her, and then just shout out my kids because Christmas came and I got to make them happy, get them all the gifts and stuff they wanted. So yeah, that's my shout
awesome,
out.
man. That's awesome, man.
Hey, shout out to Eric, man, for being for watching the stream, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Eric, always watching the stream, man. You watched it last week. We meant to get you on here, but this week was kind of like crazy because of Christmas. So I didn't even have time to work on this till literally like today. So I didn't. But next week, we're trying to have you as a guest. So hopefully you come in as a guest, my dude. But hey, hopefully, hopefully we win next week, man. And fingers crossed, everybody.
Yeah,
we got this though, man. I think we can make some noise. If we beat the Packers, we're definitely going to make some noise in the playoffs because Khalil Mack and the boys, they hungry. I know, I can see it. They're getting older, not younger. So we'll see what's up, man.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Hopefully it works out.
All right, man. So y'all know y'all tuned in live with Mike and EJ's Bears Breakdown, and we'll see y'all next week, man.